good to go. Content, studio, live. All right. Oh, I was trying to actually see. View from live control room, cool. All right, we are live on the dashboards. No, save, okay, cool. All right, we're live there, All right, I'm gonna, before I start this stream, this is really bright. I'll fix that. All right, before I get into it, I am going to just test this out real quick because I want to make sure that it's on. Okay. All right. So, for, no one in here, but I'm the Nerd Doctor, here to diagnose what's wrong with your RPG game and here to help you fix it. Today is the normal module building, so we are going to just continue. I might finish off one in a moment, just kind of closing out one of the final scenes in the first one, but I'm going to take you through the process. I promised one of my viewers that I'm going to do this particular clan's origin story because he wants to make sure, or he would like it if these were built in a way where someone could play solo. So for solo building, there's a slightly different structure, but I don't think it has to be wholly different. It just has to have some guidelines on how to make things a little bit easier. There's a couple things you can do with it. Number one is you can just use the simple DC20 calculation that will bring it down to your level that you're supposed to be at. And the other option is that you can increase your character's level in order to kind of meet what the normal ones would be. Now, that would get away from people really quickly because, most monsters at a medium level are, or rather most combats are really built around a 4-party member type situation. In order to kind of balance them, but excuse me, if that's the case, then okay, at level 1 you could be level 4 and that's automatically going to balance. But if you go, as soon as you move to level 2, if you've got 4 monsters that are supposed to take out a party of 4, that should be a power level of 8. So that can get away from you really quick. So just having a quick calculation of saying how to kind of make it simpler for a lower level or single solo play is an option. The other option is sidekicks. Giving the character a companion, another character to play with, in order to kind of balance out combats. But other than that, you don't need anything for solo play, because story driven is story driven, and you want to focus on that. You want to make the combats kind of meaningful in the story versus combats that are structured to be exactly what they were. So take the Mithril Mines combat example. It's built to be a hard combat. You've got an Elder Geomancer, 2 Terror Geomancers, and then 2 Terror Sharks, and so it's meant to be built for a party of 4. But you wouldn't need that if you were going in solo. In which case you just need solo baddies, or just a way to kind of decrease your overall level. And there's ways to do that with the variants. But anyways, I digress. Let's get into building the module. And so I'm gonna dig into a little bit of the Hoshin clan. So the Hoshin clan is the one that he wanted to play test, and that I'm gonna try to build for a solo kind of game. So All right, so if you, for those of you who are watching and may have seen the live stream on Tuesday, these clans are all based around or inspired by Naruto's clans, like clans that are in Naruto. Because I'm a big fan of Naruto. I love some of the concepts, and I wanted to build some structure around. Okay, what do each of these clans do? What can they offer from mechanical set in DC20. So the Hoshin clan is a insect manipulating clan. Now, how can that be cool in DC20? So DC20 has a whole PDF on poisons, and so this clan specializes in poisons, insects that distribute that poison. So they can apply a poison to their attacks. That's what's going to give them their edge, their kind of secret sauce, so to speak. So at level 0, and this is, we're starting at novice, so this is one level before they would get this, but you gain a natural insect attack. It can be melee or range within 5 spaces that deal 1 piercing damage, and when you hit with this attack, you may spend 1 AP to apply a poison you know. So number of poisons that they would know, that's obviously not in here, but I want to base this player's origin story around what poison would they get. And so I kind of want to make their story about how they choose their poison. So the scenes, scenes 1 and 2 are going to be relatively similar. It's going to be life around the island. So what is life going to be like? So let's go. So we know this is about poisons. And let me just double check real quick. Let's see, when applying insect, you may spend 1 repeat to the creature you attack, hide from you, and maybe tracked up to 60 spaces. So that's more like a tracking type talent. Your single target insect attack, target damage 2 piercing. You may instead make a swarm burst attack targeting a 3 space diameter. Cool. So expanding the range or the area of the attack. The swarm burst diameter increases. So, and when applying poison with your attack, you may apply 2 poisons at once instead of 1. So the question just becomes like how many poisons will they know? Starting at novice level, I think it makes sense to start with 1, and the only thing that I would probably build up on this later is just how many poisons do they get to know, and it really doesn't have to be a mechanical thing. You can, as the DM, just kind of periodically introduce story elements that will learn more poisons, but in order to inspire this, let's go to the poison PDF. So I'm going to go to my resources and go to poisons. So we've got all this information about poisons. Now these are application are all going to be attack based. They're gonna. It doesn't really matter to me how the poison would normally be introduced. What's going to be cool about this particular clan is they'll be able to basically get and learn poisons that they can apply themselves. So let's check out basic poisons. Let's see how we want to structure this. So these are examples based on 9.5, no problem. So we have alcohol. So this can be a variety of code. No, I'm going to skip the flavor text, and I just want to go to this details. Duration 1 hour. When a target is afflicted by this poison, it must make a might save DC 5 plus 1 per drink consumed. Again, we'll restructure this a little bit in order to fit their attack, but target is impaired for 1 hour. And I'm blanking on what impaired is, so here we go. You have disadvantage on physical checks. Okay, cool. Target fails by 5. They are dazed, so they disadvantage on mental checks. So cool. Those are just all we need to know about that one. So not a bad one. Assassin's Poison may be a little bit more on brand. When a target is inflicted by this poison, DC 12 might save. Target takes 1 poison damage at the start of the turn for 1 minute. So repeatable damage. Repeatable damage, rather. Blackout. When a target is afflicted by this poison, it must make a DC 15 might or intelligence save. 1 hour after consumption, the target forgets every detail about the previous hour. Target is also unaware that it's missing memories. Cool. Okay. So now I'm percolating some ideas here. So I think that ultimately Saeed I'm gonna ruin stuff for you if you keep watching. As much as I want you to keep watching, I'm working on your origin story for the Hoshin clan right now. So when a target is afflicted by this poison, that was blackout. So hallucinogen. So when a target is afflicted by this poison, I actually need to finish my thoughts better. I'm too ADHD. Actually, I wanted to make sure. Okay, I do need to update the stream every time. So an old stream does expire. Okay. Anyways, talk about my ADHD. All right. So the things I'm thinking about for this clan's origin story is about basically I'm gonna display a situation where they're gonna choose a solution, and this will be a moral quandary, and it'll choose between one of these types of poisons on how to solve the problem, and based on that, that's the poison that they are going to learn for their talent ability, and they can learn more at later points. But let's see. Hallucinogen. So when a target is afflicted by this poison, DC12 might say target has vivid hallucinations for 1 hour, granting it disadvantage on awareness checks and random secondary effect. Roll a d6 to determine the secondary effect. So target becomes frightened of all creatures it can see. Target becomes intimidated of all creatures it can see. Target is immune to being intimidated. Target is immune to being frightened or intimidated. Okay, interesting. Sedative. When a target is afflicted by this poison, it must make a physical check. Target is impaired or slowed for 10 minutes. Again, impaired, disadvantaged physical checks, slowed just slows their movement. Okay. Sleep powder. Duration 1 minute, composition powder. When a target is afflicted by this poison, it must make a DC14 minor charisma save. Target fails unconscious for 1 minute. Duration increases by 10 minutes. Okay. All right. So we have sleep powder, sedative, hallucinogen, blackout, assassin's poison, and alcohol. Each of them do slightly different things. Impaired, dazed, damage, forgetful, frightened, intimidated, sleep, impaired, slowed, sleep. Okay. So how I want to structure this overall scene. So I'm trying to figure out exactly what kind of challenge I want them to be presented with. So weight of honor, and we're going to go to the Hoshin clan. So, whoops, I don't want that. I want add scene. So scene 1 is going to be, life around the island. And I may change this later, but I'm just going to save that there. Scene 2 is going to be meet with mentor. They're going to give him a lesson. Have them spar with a training dummy. Again, the reason that that's even in here is because the whole point of the origin stories is, and again, everyone who plays this may be DC20 vets and they know how to play the game, and other people may not be. And so the point of the origin stories is to kind of introduce new players to the combat of DC20. So this is a quick and easy way to get them into it one-on-one. They don't have to wait around for multiple turns. They can dig into their character sheet and learn. And even if there isn't even if they are new, you still have the fun of doing a combat where it's all about you and one-off. It is kind of cool to do, but meet with mentor / combat. Again, I'm going to rename these later. I'm just kind of giving myself some bones here. I've been kind of structuring around everything around trial of poisons. I've been kind of structuring around a 4-scene kind of structure when it comes to these origin stories. They're not meant to be like 3-hour long sections. They could take an hour for all that matters. If there's not enough character development and character defining moments in it, you can certainly extend it and do whatever you want as a DM. You don't have to do it this way. This is obviously a module. This isn't necessarily how I'd run a full campaign. I might really, for this purposes, it works perfectly because they're all going to be pulled together by a circumstance that matters to them. So it's more about why, structuring them on why they're choosing that life in the first place. What's the purpose? And that may be something that's important for more important to ask my players in these scenes. Now that I think about it, I'm glad I'm talking this out loud. But Trial of Poisons, and then scene 4 is summoning. Summoning, no. Trial, not trial. It's a, what did I put it for? No, I haven't even named it. Training. Did I pass it? No. Yes, I passed it. Hoshi. Okay. So scene 4 is going to be basically, you know what? I did structure it. I put it around here. Scene 4, travel to Shrine of the Warden. Summoning for the warden, not warden, but retainer. Retainer summoning. That's all I need. So important stuff there. So and honestly, that interaction with their mentor is going to ask their characters an important question. Why do you want to be a retainer? And this is where, you know, we really want to dive in deep to, oops, yeah, all these are set to C1. So this is supposed to be scene 4. Meet with mentor. This is supposed to be scene 2. Scene 3, scene 1, scene 2. Okay, so life around the island is supposed to introducing to their life. So I am not going to give the DM everything. It would be an insane amount of work to try to come up with all the NPCs that are supposed to be meaningful to this character. I would much rather, and I'm getting groggy. I would much rather the DM try to make this their own in some way. I don't know why my voice is looking like that. I got a podcast to do later today. I hope it doesn't stay like this. Yeah, I want their DM to work with their player to come up with what life is going to be like. Like, we will structure this. So life around the island. So life around Hoshi. So read aloud texts. So, and I'm just going to use this for the moment, but like epic, grand, legendary, you know, and this is one of the other clans that lives in floating mountains, surrounded, floating mountains, home of the airships, airship building yards. Because you got a bunch of floating islands around this island. Airships are going to be kind of important. Yeah, so let's go with that. And I'm just trying to get a foundation of description. I'm not as good with words as sometimes this will come out to be, but I just want to get a little structure around what I'm doing, especially when I'm doing these chats. And I don't want to take forever to type something up. I want to spend a little, and I'll come back and edit these as I need. All right, so above the glittering clouds, where the whispers of the wind dance through vast expanse of sky, the floating mountains of Hoshi rise majestically. Here, on these magnificent peaks, the airship building yards hum with life, a realm where ingenuity and artistry collide to create vessels that soar through the heavens. The vibrant hues of the sky are mirrored in the brilliant sails and intricate frameworks of the airships, each testament to the skill of its creators. As you observe the bustling activity, the sounds of hammers striking metal and the shouts of craftsmen echo across the landscape. accompanied by the gentle rustle of the soft, ethereal grasses that cling to the cliffs. Hoshi's residents roam these heights with purpose, engineers, pilot, and dreamers, all drawn to the promise of adventure in the boundless skies. Okay, so there's way too much, as it always does. They're tinged with tantalizing. So we're going to cut some of this out. Sounds of hammers striking metal, shouts of craftsmen, echoes of the landscape, accompanied by a gentle rustle of soft, ethereal grass that cling to the cliffs. We're going to remove this last sentence here. The air is tinged with tantalizing scent of spiced winds, bringing with it tales of distant lands and untold perils. Here every whispered secret of the winds could lead to the discovery of new realms for the unveiling of ancient mysteries. As night begins to paint the heart, yeah, so way too much. So let's get rid of this as night stuff. This is a morning. Tales of distant lands, untold perils. Here, every whispered secret winds could lead to the discovery of new realms. And yeah, I don't need any of this. Okay. Ethereal cliffs. Okay, that's actually plenty for me right there. Those 2 paragraphs. I don't need anything more. I just want a quick description of Hoshi because I want to get into, you know, and this is, I'm going to add in a GM note here. So life around, whoops, caps on. I want these in the same area and basically work with your player. And if there's more than one person who happens to be playing this origin story, work with your players to come up with a handful of NPCs they would interact with. Family, example. Example, family, and friends. I'm going to throw in, you know, some important, you know, people, you know, that they may interact with in general, like, you know, NPC note. I'm going to, you know, here's an easy one. NPC note here. I want normal. Feudal, normal, life in a feudal Japan like era. And I can never type when I'm on these things. And I want to, one of the NPCs I'm thinking is like an insect keeper. And insect keeper. And what's the other one I'm thinking of? Like a worker. I'm going to generate that. And then I'm going to do another NPC note. Again, normal. Life. A man in. Oh, you're good. Feudal Japan. A man in feudal Japan. What's a shipbuilder? Lumberer. A shipbuilder. You're good, man. I don't want you to see too much because again, I'm building out your origin story here. A shipbuilder man in feudal Japan. So life in Hoshi, insect keeper. And I don't need, let's just do this. Fumiko Yama, I like the insect keeper, entomologist. A middle-aged woman with weathered skin and sparkling dark eyes, Fumiko is known for her expertise in the art of insect husbandry. She wears a loose, flowing kimono patterned with delicate silk threads that resemble many winged insects. With a gentle demeanor and a warm heart, she tends to her collection of colorful beetles and graceful silk. Uchiha versus Hyuga versus Sand for me. You said you wanted Abirame. You said you wanted the insect clan. That's what I'm working on. I'm working on the insect clan. The scent of herbs used to, well, I mean, this is the one to test out, not necessarily the one that you'd want to play throughout the whole campaign, but the one that you want to test out. Humble sanctuary often attracts children. I don't need anything past that. Nature specimens linger in the air. So that is good enough for me right there. Shipwright of Hoshi. I'm going to do life around Hoshi again. Life. Is that what I'm doing with all these? Life around Hoshi. Life around Hoshi. Takeshi Kaneko. I like that. Master shipbuilder. Takeshi Kaneko is a stalwart figure with sun-kissed skin and calloused hands. The result of decades spent crafting vessels that sail. Yeah, I'll test this one out. Okay. Sails the skies. His hair prepped with silver. His tide peppered with silver. His is tied back in a simple knot, and his piercing azure eyes reflect a lifetime of patience and craftsmanship. Clad in durable yet worn kimono, he is often found in his workshop, surrounded by wooden tools and half-finished ships that shimmer the promise of flight. Yeah, no, that's all I need. This always goes too much. All right, so we have a couple NPC notes. Let's throw in a quick dialogue. We're going to throw this dialogue in just above here. Who is insect? So in Naruto, the insect clan is Aburame, but in my game it's Clan Hoshi, or the Hoshi clan, whatever. So life around Hoshi, life around Hoshi, life around Hoshi. This will drop them all. I'll see how it looks after this, but Fumiko Yama. Does it describe her voice in here? I'll go with soft. I like soft voice here. Soft, calm. And look, what do you have? Shikamaru's clan. So, Clan Nara for Shikamaru, I started to do them, but I ended up nexting them for a good reason. So I have this clan, the Sabakuro clan, which is like the Gara clan of it, the sand manipulators. And the thing is that both Gara's clan and the Nara clan, they're both kind of like experts in like capturing and holding. And so because I'm trying to get all of these on a unique theme in mechanic wise, talent wise. Each of these I've done, like they were too close together is really what it was. And so and to build off a talent that's going to level up as you do, I went with the Gara clan because it can specialize in both defense and capture. So I went with that more than anything else. And it works because like one of the islands is going to be like a desert island type deal. So Fumiko Yama, I'm going to say, good morning, player's name. Care to help me tend to the insects? Have you been studying your poisons? Alcohol-based. And this is just, I'm assuming, a conversation happening here. Alcohol-based tend to tend to disadvantage people, tend to give you advantage over your enemy. See, they're on another page, so I have to. This is the only thing. Can I open another one of these? Yes, I can. All right, cool. So quickly, I'm opening a second one. You won't be able to see it on my screen, but I'm opening a second one just because I need to go back to my poisons and double check what they all do. Because we're just going to start with basic for right now. So assassin's poison. Okay. So, oh no. I think they save automatically. Hopefully they do. No. Damn it, I clicked the wrong button. I clicked the wrong button. I'm gonna have to fix that. That's for damn sure. All right, autofill, epic, mountain islands, mountain islands that that house a airship building. Airship building yards and docks. Keep it short. Man, I can't believe I just did that. I'm an idiot. Anyways, we already know what some of these are, so I'm just going to go through and just click on these real quick. Custom tone, normal, insect keeper, set in feudal Japan. And oh, was that a dialogue? Whoops. Dance of silkworms. No. I'm gonna delete that. NPC, no, that's what I want. Normal. Insect. Normal. Insect keeper, set in feudal Japan. Another NPC note. Normal. Oops, what just happened? Weird. Okay, custom tone, normal. Oh no, not insect keeper. Shipwright. We'll do airship right. Airship right, set in feudal Japan. Keep it short. All right, Hiroshi Kaido. Hiroshi Kaido is a middle-aged man with a sun-kissed complexion, deep laugh lines etched in his face. I liked the woman. Fumiko, yeah. What was it? Fumiko something. Lines etched in his face, depicting a life spent under the sun and skies of the Iron Isles. Nope. Dressed in simple, functional attire made from tightly woven reeds and cotton, carries a delicate pouch filled with various small, fluttering insects. His hands are skilled and gentle, crafted from years tending to the creatures he raises. Kaido has an innate connection to nature. I don't care about that. The soothing voice. Hikaru Shukamoto, a master airshipwright, is standing proudly beside his latest creation. With a lean frame, hands calloused from years of craftsmanship, he wears traditional robes adorned with motifs of swirling clouds and soaring birds. His intense gaze and quick smile reveal a passion for the skies inspired around him. Known for so much kind. Hiriko, storyteller. No, I don't need that. I mean, that's if you want to include that, you can include that. But NPC dialogue. I'm gonna bring this to, and these are obviously family and other stuff I'm going to leave up to the DM and the player to come up with. These are just characters they'll interact with around the island. I want them to have connections around the island. So let's go with that. Let's go with that for the moment. Section title. So again, these are all going to be life around Hoshi. Life around Hoshi. Hiroshi Kaido. Soft and soothing. Calm. Quotes. Try this again. Good morning. Character's name. And let's go to character's name. Have you been studying your poisonous insects? Alcohol tends to disadvantage your adversaries. And then, what were my other ones? Okay, so assassins. Others tend to cause damage over time. Sleepers can knock out your targets for a short period of time. I'm not going to get into like naming all these bugs. Like more like I'd rather them just know what they do more than anything else. Blackouts can cause short-term memory loss. I want to put a little twist on these and temporarily tell the truth. All right. Hallucinogens can cause fear. And then, what's the last one? Sleepers, hallucinogens, sedative. Sedative, impaired or slowed. Sedatives. So this is the kind of the conversation that's going to kind of get them into what their clan is about, like when it comes to the insects. And then this one's just a fun one about the ships. It is a very unique and counterintuitive culture. Just for the example that bugs aren't known at high altitudes, I don't think. But here we're gonna have that. All right, so quick dialogue about when it comes to Hikaru Shikamaru. So first one is easy. So Hikaru. Oh no, so this is supposed to be life. Life around Hoshi. Hikaru. I'm gonna do a quick save because I don't want to mess that up again. Hikaru. I didn't even spell right. Hikaru Tsukamoto. Gruff and hardened. Excitable. Shouts. Character's name. Take a look at my latest creation. And then I'm going to throw in a, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to do, I'm going to change these to life to, I'm going to change these to the names. Insect tamer. Let's make it the insect tamer. And then Hikaru, the shipwright. Describe, describe. Epic. Brand new, a brand new airship. Keep it short. Let's see what it comes up with. And I'm going to want some background info about Hoshi. So let's bring this up. Couldn't describe it. You know what? I think this is why. But let's try this again. Sometimes if I fill it in something, which it won't generate it sometimes, which can be annoying, but it is what it is. So background info. So Hoshi. Oh, looks like it does delete when I'm working on something. Soaring high above the island. Floating. Floating in the airship dock. Yard, airship, building yard. The Celestial Gale is a grand airship crafted from the finest iridescent wood of the sky-crowned trees. Yeah. Their glistening bark shimmering in hues of azure and gold. Its sleek hull is adorned with intricate carvings that depict the elemental forces bound within the wardens. No, I don't like any of that. Adorned the intricate carvings that depict the elemental forces. Intricate carvings of, bound. Elemental forces bound. Of the sovereigns. And the elemental sovereign of Hoshi, that is a great question. Elemental sovereign of Hoshi. Let's, because I think this is kind of a crown jewel type ship. So let me look something up real quick. Is it in my world builder? That's the great question. No, it is not in my world builder. It might just be in somewhere in my information about the individual things. Let me check. Resources, weight of honor. I might have put it in that. Weight of honor, and did I put it in Hoshin, chapter overview? No, it's not there. Adventure overview, adventure outline. Nope. Where did I put this information? Okay, so really important kind of thing that I'm now going to have to go back and add. I'm going to finish typing up the scene, and then I'm going to show you kind of an easy way to do this. Why is my computer not plugged in? Okay. All right, I'm going to have to go to my third resource because I do have this information And I just have to go look it up. All right, open up my Cathera. No, that's not what I wanted. Maybe it's in here. No, it's not. Let's try a different one. Sorry for the delay. This is just, I think, kind of important. All right. Because I do, one thing that, and I'm going to show you, I want to show you it in a minute before I wrap up today. Okay, so here we go. Ame, Kono, Odo, Hikiri, Hoshi. Skyship Engineers, Clan Oshing. Damn it, it's not in here. Okay, where did I put you? Whoop. Don't want that. Kythera Islands. That should be it. Okay, so Chimera, Hoshi, the Blaze Warden. Interesting. Interesting. Interesting that it is the Blaze Warden. I just want to make doubly sure of that, because that doesn't sound right. It seems like it's listed, right? The Blaze Warden. Hoshi. Just making sure that I didn't type it wrong somewhere. Nope, it keeps coming up as Blaze. So it's the Blaze Warden, which is a little counterintuitive. Just because, and it kind of makes sense at the same time. I mentioned that when it comes to all of these sovereigns, all the sovereigns are combo elementals. So they're powerful elementals that are made up of 2 elements. So the Blaze Warden is made up of fire and lightning, which not a bad concept when you were talking about airships, but is definitely not compatible with an insect user type clan. You know, fire and lightning probably not good around insects. So that might be something I go in and change. Just move the clans around a little bit so they're in a little bit more suitable environment. It shouldn't change the origin stories too much. It just will, like, I might move the insect tamer to a different opening scene. But for right now, I'm going to keep it just because carvings that depict the Blaze Sovereign. Blaze Sovereign, bound within the Hoshi Island Warden. Swirling in harmony, that's kind of cool. Massive sails stitched from the enchanted fibers of the sky whisker silk catch the breath of the winds, propelling the vessel with a powerful grace akin to a bird of prey. At the plow, a figurehead shaped like a fierce eagle with crystalline eyes serves as the ship's guardian, said to weave through the tempest and bring good fortune to its crew. Command bridge of the stern offers panoramic views with a deft, I don't need that, shipwright, and sure the celestial gale is steered with ever-changing. Yeah, no, that's solid right there. So a quick description of the, the ship. And maybe they'll. What do you think? And there we go. That's their interactions there. That is enough for scene 1. That is all I need. And I am gonna. I said I would do it. I'm gonna skip to the. So here's the concepts that because I just want to put this here because I'm gonna kind of come back to it. But read aloud, meets with Morden. Kind of setting the scene of scene 1 real quick. Let's put, like I said, background info. So background info, and this is the only thing I didn't do. So Hoshi Island. Hoshi home of the greatest airship yard and the most famous airship shipwrights of the Kytherin Islands. Set among also home of several floating mountains, though not as many as Kumo. Can't spell shipwrights. Not as many as Kumo, because Kumo is the gravity type island in the capital. So it's gonna be a lesser stake, but because this also has some floating islands, this is gonna be a good place for shipwrights to build them. You know, the clan itself is gonna be on the ground, though, and so they're. And I think that the concept of shipwrights is going to be a little bit more of a airship right building is kind of be a clan secret or an island secret. So there might be individuals from other islands who might be trying to steal that knowledge, and I think that's going to be a theme of this. So coveted the Hoshin clan is charged with protecting the secrets of the shipwrights, secrets of building airships. Let's just say it's only built here. Why not? And I think that the conflict that this person is going to choose is someone is trying to learn what they are, and their first task is going to be to figure out who. And they're going to be able to choose from the different poisons in order to do that. So the secret of building airships. So done there. Okay, I'm good with that scene. Scene 1. Read it loud. Proceed to scene 2. But I'm gonna say the characters of this will be on their way to meet with their mentor. So all the interactions with family and stuff that that are in here. Oh, you know what? The GM's note is missing. So let me just add that back in. Life around Hoshi Island. Work with your player to come up with some NPCs that they would interact with. Example, some family and friends. Not all the work can be on me. You know what I mean? All right, save scene. Okay, I'm good with that scene. Now, I just wanted to touch on what I was talking about. So this is the world builder, and the world I am working out of is Pangea. Now, this is completely fleshed out in other places, which is why you saw me kind of go out and look for it. And I haven't added everything to this. I've added the world. I've added one of the main places that I work out of most of the time, which is at least one of the cities. But that is it. So the first kind of things that are going to be in here is going to be this: Kythera Islands. So and I'll add a picture later. But this is going to be a region of the world. The root is going to be Pangea. Tags. I don't care about that. Related entities is going to be Pangea for right now. And because that helps me navigate a little bit. But I'll go in and type more later. I just want to get this saved. Yep, so there's Pangea, and then we're going to go and add in, I'm going to add in Kumo first. This is going to be a location. I don't believe I have city in here, yeah. Location, parent root is going to be, oh, I just made it, so Kythera Islands, and Pangea. Tags, Kythera, capital, and save. So now we have Kumo. So really easy concepts, and this we're going to be Hoshi Island. This is going to be a location. It's going to be Kythera, related to Kythera's. We'll just add them. Like, it doesn't wholly matter what related entities you want to put here. We're going to go shipwrights. I'm going to tag it shipwright. Hoshi clan. Yep. I'm on a live stream, but what?
Okay. Do you want me to go?
Are you done?
No, Matt's done.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Let's say I have a few more minutes to kill. So let me go ahead and Hoshi clan. There was one thing that I wanted to do. I totally lost my train of thought. Let me see here. Hoshi clan, shipwrights, and oh yeah, so Blaze Warden. These are some real quick, easy things to put in here. Those entities haven't been created yet, but I'm good with that much. So whoops, did not mean to do that. Save entry. Hoshi Island, got those connected. And now I can come in here and do Hoshi clan. Hoshin clan, which this is going to be a faction. Hoshi Islands. Hoshi Islands. Kythera. Pangea. Blaze Warden. Hoshi Island. Kythera. All right. So just showing you how that looks from this end. So I got my Kythera, got Hoshi Island, got the Hoshi clan is in here. If I wanted to add other factions like a shipwrighting clan, I could add it in here. And obviously what these do, what these connected lore does, is they take you to those places, Kumo, Pangea. And so, you know, the more you go to the top, the less you're going to see, but it'll take you right to their page, the world calendar here. Right now, the connected lore is that. I'm going to go back to here because I can come here and edit. And I do think that when I add a connected entity, I want to, when I connect it one way, I will fix that. It will connect it both ways. So like if I put connected entity Kythera, when I put Pangea, it should add it to here. So that's a great little nugget there. But I do have to wrap up for today because I got to get ready for real work. But I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of little tutorial and working with me on building this module. I think it's coming out great. I just got a lot done with the second clan. The only scene that's not done is for the first one is scene 4, obviously here. And then scene, where's Hoshi? I passed it again. And then I've got to fill these out. But I think what we got done here, life around Hoshi, let's just do a quick little check. Unload scenes, weight of honor, and we're going to go to, where is it? Hoshi. So, scene 1, here we go. Background info. Home of the greatest airship yard and the most famous airship shipwrights of the Catharan Islands, also home of several floating mountains, though not as many as Kumo. The Hoshin clan is charged with protecting the secrets of building airships. The characters of this backstory will be on their way to meet with their mentor. Work with your players to come up with some NPCs and add them in here. And so they can go to the NPC section and interact with those. But life around, they'll read this text. They'll interact with the insect tamer, they'll interact with the shipwrights, and then proceed to scene 2, which we obviously haven't started yet, but you get the gist. It kind of makes it really easy to go in there. And just to show you how it looks from this perspective, we go to read, and it should show up, Hoshi, chapter overview, maybe not. Oh, you know why? Here's why. I'm gonna do this real quick, and then I'm gonna sign off. So modules, weight of armor, create sync digital book. So once that's synced, let's head over to it. 901, I'm slightly over. Okay, so head into resources, weight of honor, and Hoshin. Here we go. Chapter overview, novice, Uzuma Akaki. Oh no, sorry, I'm in the wrong one. Hoshin. Okay, chapter overview of. Wait, Uzuma's here twice. Don't know why that's the case, but anyways, Hoshin. I haven't done a chapter overview yet, but here's the life around Hoshin, meets with mentor. I haven't done these other scenes yet, but those are the scenes. So here's scene 1, insect keeper, and all of that, giving you the overview. And then obviously we haven't done any of these yet, but it is weird. I'll have to check on that to check out the chapter overview, but I don't know why this appeared twice. Uzuma Origins, Uma Origin Kumo. I'll fix that, whatever that is. But thanks for listening, guys. Stay